Since their creation and deployment in 1945, nuclear bombs have transformed from an eerie, mysterious, and untouchable force into a necessity in maintaining power in the modern world. Understanding the true extent of the power of nuclear weapons, the reason why countries are desperate to get them, and how a new century of nuclear arms race is beginning is paramount in reaching a solution and understanding the quiet influence of international relations. Welcome to the 12th episode of Season 1 of Lively Live Life, a podcast by the Information Institute that explains the science behind everyday phenomena. Today's episode is See You in 2050. Nuclear bombs, sometimes called atomic bombs or fission bombs, are arguably the most destructive weapons in humanity's possession. Along with biological and chemical weapons, nuclear weapons are classified as highly stigmatized weapons of mass destruction. Their power stems from nuclear fission, splitting an atomic nucleus into two smaller ones. Most bombs use unstable isotopes of uranium or plutonium during their fission process. There are many types of nuclear bombs, ranging from gun-like machines to imploding spheres and so-called dirty bombs. In general, at the centers of nuclear bombs, conventional explosives detonate around the radioactive core, compressing the core to such an extent that nuclei begin to undergo fission, releasing incredible amounts of energy. The energy released from these explosions is measured in terms of TNT equivalents, or how many kilotons, or even megatons, of TNT would be required to release the same amount of energy. As an example, the Trinity test, the first nuclear weapon detonated in New Mexico, exploded with a yield of 21 kilotons of TNT. It was powerful enough to create a crater nearly 100 meters wide and melted the desert sand into a green glass that scientists now call trinitite. Despite their incredible explosive power and their extreme luminance, what makes nuclear bombs terrifying is not the blast energy. Instead, it is the resulting nuclear fallout and poisonous radiation. Since nuclear weapons use radioactive material as their energy source, detonation releases highly radioactive substances into the environment, often spreading through the air. High levels of radiation not only increase cancer, but also destroy the environment by contaminating water supplies and soil. Since most radioactive materials do not break down for years or even centuries, environmental damage can escalate to destroying entire ecosystems. Nuclear bombs can also cause a nuclear winter, where the leftover debris clouds out the skies and causes global cooling. Nuclear bombs were first developed during the Second World War, primarily between Nazi Germany and America. After Nazi Germany unexpectedly collapsed, the U.S. dropped nuclear bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, officially concluding the Second World War and leading to the deaths of 110,000 people in even the most conservative estimates. As a result of the atrocities of the war, the United Nations was formally established in late October of 1945 to form a unified collaboration between nations. While the UN has been mostly successful in solving many global problems, such as the smallpox pandemic and minor wars, it has failed, in most regards, to address the growing problem of the 20th century's nuclear arms race. Rather than halting the development of nuclear weapons after the world witnessed their effects on Japan, the two global superpowers at the time, the US and the Soviet Union, experimented with more and more powerful weapons of mass destruction that were orders of magnitude more devastating than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. In fact, in 1989, the United States reportedly spent 6% of its GDP on its military. To develop nuclear weapons that outmatched their opponents, both the US and the Soviet Union developed the hydrogen bomb, a weapon that took the arms race to a new level. Rather than only relying on nuclear fission, the hydrogen bomb also incorporated nuclear fusion into its design, which made it thousands of times more powerful than the standard nuclear weapon. The largest explosion ever created by humanity was the Tsar Bomba. The Soviet hydrogen bomb detonated in 1961 with a force of 50 megatons of TNT equivalents, or 3,800 times stronger than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. In the 21st century, there are 9 nuclear states, including the US and Russia, and the combined nuclear arsenal is more than enough to destroy the entire planet several times over. With the increase in the development of nuclear weapons and subsequent threats, while no country is willing to cut back on nuclear programs, the possibility of the start of a full-scale nuclear war is increasing by the second. And in a time where the world's major superpowers are doubtful of each other's intentions during an ongoing war, humanity must proceed cautiously. If nuclear bombs are not dismantled, we must ensure they are never deployed.